Buongiorno, this is Habib Abbas with episode 3 of Joe Knows. Obviously, I'm not Joe. I still have a little bit of nose, but it's the foreign gene in us. We have two amazing guests with us here from New Venture Escrow. We have Courtney Lewis, Vice President of Sales, and Tania Gonzalez, the Senior Vice President. Welcome on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So we're going to dive in. We're going to figure out what exactly is escrow, a couple little details here and there, and we're going to figure out why they're one of the top escrow companies in San Diego. Yes. Let's go right in. All right. So first of all, let's just keep it simple. How'd you guys get into the business?
So I actually got into the business when I was 18. I started assisting my mom when she was in real estate, and I always wanted to move to San Diego, so I had the opportunity to transfer to a title company and just started doing title sales, and I started getting crushed by some senior reps out there when the market got challenging, and got introduced over to Casey LeBlanc, and he was with an escrow company and said, you know, they're really picking up, wanting to grow escrow, and they didn't need a rep. So I actually made the move and went right into escrow sales. And so from there, we teamed up, jumped ship from that company, and started New Venture Escrow 8 years ago, and that's where I started.
That's an amazing story. I mean, being in San Diego, the competition is fierce. Only the best of the best survive here, and they've been thriving for years. So what about you, Tania? How'd you get into it?
Oh, man. So I actually, prior to this, I was working with an attorney with foreclosures. I've known Courtney for about probably 10, 11 years. We were friends prior to the business. And I was working behind a desk, and our clients were on the East Coast, and so it was just phone and email all day. I was never out from the office. It was just very routine, something that I actually don't like to do, and I didn't know at the time, you know? I was like, wait, I probably should not be behind a desk ever. So I would talk to Courtney. We would have dinner probably once a month to catch up on life, and she's like, wait a minute, you're not happy with your job. You don't like what you're doing.
Change.
Yeah,
so
she's like, you know, you're outgoing, you have great personality, you speak Spanish. Like, we need a rep. We need someone to, you know, jumpstart our Chula Vista office. So she actually brought me into the business. I had absolutely no idea what escrow was. I started in the Chula Vista market, grew that office, and 5.5 years later, I'm still here.
Yep.
That's truly an amazing story. I mean, it sounds like you guys were meant to be with each other, both great personalities, and you kind of lined up with one of a really good company here in San Diego. Casey's a great guy. He's been around for a long time and he knows his stuff. So, you know, before I went into real estate, if you said escrow, I would have known what escrow was or what title was or what insurance was. So why don't you guys give us a brief description on what exactly is escrow?
What is escrow? Right?
The question.
So, basically with escrow and what we are, so when you are a buyer or seller, you need to hire a neutral third party to facilitate the transaction. So you're going to look for an escrow company. We are in California, so it is an escrow state, so you can hire us. And what we do is we're the neutral third party that basically facilitates the transaction. I don't want to dive too much into it because that could be a whole other thing, but really what's important for the consumers to know while watching this and for agents is who you choose as your escrow to be your partner. And you got to make sure that they have security, transparency, and protection. And I think that's why we're here, and that's why we've teamed up with Joe and his buyers and sellers and agents, is because we provide thoroughly all of those.
And you guys do a great job of that, I must say, because we've been partnered for a few weeks now, and we've just been opening up escrows left and right.
Let's go. This is great. And yeah, I mean, it's very important that you trust the company that you work with. We are making sure all conditions are met. We're making sure that, you know, the money's not getting moved without agreement from both parties. So you got to make sure that you're with the right company, you know, that the company has both parties' interests in mind and not just one side. And I think that's the biggest and most important thing about truly working with a truly independent escrow company.
I think that's extremely important because in real estate, you know, we have buyer sides, we have seller sides. Sometimes, you know, you get into a situation where you want your buyer to get the best deal and you also want your seller to get the best deal. And how do you find that balance? So I think having an escrow company that understands the value of that is what's going to make you, it's going to take you to the next level. So I've got a couple more questions. We're not going to get too deep into it. I know we're going to follow up here with another escrow episode to get some escrow officers in here to really dig deep.
Get some raw stuff.
Get some awesome, fun escrow stuff in. So here's a quick question. I just had a client ask me, is the other side able to take money out without their consent, which is a pretty big concern. You know, you're worried about your money. It's a big life decision. can one party take money out without the other party's consent?
Absolutely not. So you have to have signed authorization from both parties in order to be able to remove any money out of escrow. And I think that's the most important part about it, is that's why we're in the middle person. We're like the trust in the middle that handles it. We're like the little referee of the whole transaction.
Exactly, the referees,
We
not the Super
coordinate.
Bowl referees.
Yeah.
We're actual
But
real referees.
legit referees. Non-biased.
So in San Diego,
Of course,
we've
bring
been
sports into it, you know?
We have to.
You
I
have
mean,
to.
what's
Sports.
going on here? All the stuff that went down, I mean,
Yeah.
it's still fresh. So we're not going to talk about that. We might do a Super Bowl episode next week. But right now, we're focusing on the exciting escrow process.
Yes.
I've heard a couple different stories in the news. It's pretty alarming. How do you guys protect yourselves, protect the clients from any kind of scandals happening right now with wire fraud? And what do you guys do to make sure that our clients are protected?
You hire a 24/7 security company that is a floor above your corporate office. That's what you do. Who's basically monitoring every single email that comes in and out, checking. I mean, really, just all of our phones are secured. Our software. Anytime we hire somebody new, staff, we have to make sure that everything is dialed in and secured. So whatever we're emailing back and forth is being monitored.
100%, yeah.
So that's for one. It's also constantly educating yourself on things that have happened, right? And making sure that what we're doing, so we're on the phone, we're calling. And just because we're, clients are calling us in confirming wiring instructions, that might not necessarily be the buyer, who's calling in. So we have to be smart enough as an escrow company to know that and to pick up the phone and to call them back. And so there's just so many things that you got to make sure to have that personal touch with those clients and verify everything before any monies are being transferred whatsoever.
Absolutely.
So it's just being constantly educated. We have once a week updates to our entire staff of 4 offices constantly on anything new that's happened, any things to look out for, and just putting money into security. Because listen, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be open.
Exactly.
And so we don't want any of that to happen. So we're not putting money into buying marketing. We're not doing that. We're putting money into securing our clients, your clients, to make sure that they're protected and we're going to have a smooth and clean escrow.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Right now, there's so many different people that are targeting real estate transactions in our day and age that security is the number one thing. I mean, a quick phone call, a different email, and I think being on top of it, having a real connection with your clients, contacting them every single day, letting them know exactly what to expect is what's going to protect them from sending a wire to an email that really has nothing to do with your actual transaction. So I think that's essential for an escrow company to be successful in San Diego.
And I think also that what we try to stress to our agents, who are our partners too, is to also educate your buyers and your sellers as well. And so get with your escrow team and your title team to see what they've been seeing recently, so that we can educate you, so you can educate your buyers and your sellers. Because ultimately they come to you to be their consultant for real estate,
their
right?
advisors,
You're
right?
protecting them. You're their advisor. So if you can empower them and give them knowledge, then that's a strength, that's an added value for us to give to you that you can give to your clients.
That's what's going to set you apart. So
Yeah, and I mean, I would say, protection over marketing a hat, a big cup. It's just a million times better.
I do love cups, but I want my $100,000 safe too.
Yeah, I mean,
I like cups, but I lose them all the time.
these are big transactions. It's
Yeah.
a lot of money that's being handled. It's people's, the biggest transaction and investment of their life. So we want to make sure we protect it.
Absolutely. So, in recent news, have you guys heard of any, we'll say, horror stories in the industry? Of
In
what just
recent news, or
happened?
just for a long time?
Let's
There's
say
a ton of horror
general
stories.
news.
Yeah, I know that there was actually recently over 200,000 that got wired to the wrong account.
Oh my God.
So, like
you
Courtney was
imagine that?
saying, yeah, it's horrible and it can happen. It's not going to happen with us.
That's one of the things that we really don't take lightly, because you got to think about it. Put yourselves into a new home buyer situation. You just found the home of your dreams. You got your life savings. You get an email from an escrow company, and then you send that $200,000. You think you're good. Then you get a phone call a week later from the agent that hasn't talked to you in a week, asking you where that money is, and it's gone. You know, it's devastating. It really can alter people's lives, and we want to make sure that that never happens to anybody, let alone, you know, yourself. So I think you guys are taking the proper steps and really putting money where it counts as far as protection and really having the client's best interest in mind.
And I have a good tip for everybody who's receiving emails. Always look at the domain name, because what's happening is they're changing escrow to 2 V's instead of a W.com,
they're getting slick
right?
out there,
So they're changing. So just when you're replying and there's sensitive information, you're looking at the domain name of the email that it's being sent from.
Yeah, that's,
so it could say your name, but the email address, it's not you. What do you
say? So what we do,
know?
we actually call them right away, right when the wire gets in there. We make sure that the domain name is properly spelled out, and we're on the phone with you guys, making sure you guys just sent the email. So I think those are just some of the steps that you take to be proactive to make sure that that's the proper email, it's going to the right place, and you're able to put that family into a new home. So.
And let's get back to the basics. I mean, the personal service. Bring the deposit check to escrow.
Exactly.
Meet your officer. Let's get back to what escrow should be and real estate should be, and it's that personal touch anyway.
Don't bring a bag of cash. That's
yeah. I mean, if you can put it on our doorstep. We'll know what to do with it. Yeah.
Oh man, that's really good stuff. As far as escrow, I think you guys we touched on the topics that we want to kind of graze over. Just get our viewers understanding of exactly what escrow is, and a couple little tips on how to be cautious and what to expect.
And we'll dive further into it.
We definitely want to do a follow-up episode.
Segment number 2.
Exactly. Escrow number 2. We might get to 5. So I know it's a long process. We're making it sound simple and easy, but that's our job. And we have our guys, our escrow officers that are behind the scenes that are really, really putting in, the real work to make sure we're all protected in escrow and in real estate. So I've got another question to wrap the show up. This is one of my favorites. Tell us a secret that nobody knows about you.
Okay, so when I was about to be born, my brother wanted to name me Snoopy.
Like Snoopy the dog or Snoop the
He wanted
rapper?
a brother.
Snoopy the dog.
Oh, okay.
He wanted a brother. Unfortunately, he found out I was a girl, so then he named me Tania Snoopa.
Tanya Snoopa, guys.
Anyone ever wants to call me Tanya
Follow
Snoopa,
her, add her, Tanya Snoopa.
I will respond if you call me that, for sure.
That's great. What about you, Courtney?
I was deathly afraid of Santa Claus growing up.
Oh my God, Santa?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Santa's
and
awesome.
Actually, I know my brother would sit me in front of the TV and play Tales from the Crypt Santa Claus edition.
Brother, if you're watching this, shame on you, man.
And now, but then it went to like the Easter Bunny. So every holiday Eve, I was in my brother's bedroom, like.
What about
this
Halloween?
Is what you get. I gotta sleep with you now.
Do you like Halloween?
It's crazy enough. I loved Halloween. Is that weird?
Yeah, it works backwards.
Dark,
the one that's supposed to be scary is not scary.
Yeah, I kind of turned it a little bit. Yeah.
How about you?
Me, this is quite interesting. I love SpongeBob. I watch a SpongeBob episode maybe once a month. I don't know if it's the weird humor, but as I watch it as an adult, I'm like, why did they let us watch this as kids? Because there's a lot of little secret messages in there. So, yeah, no one would know. There it is.
I guess that's secret number 2. I may have been in SpongeBob.
What?
Yes.
In the SpongeBob movie or the cartoon?
Movie.
All right, we're going to talk about this on the next episode.
Episode number 2.
To be continued.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
This is episode 3 of Joe Knows. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to tune in Friday at 8 a.m. for the full episode. We'll see you next week. Ciao. Salam alaikum. Au revoir. Have a good day.